Well, hello everybody out there in the bookverse. It's Stephanie, and today I'm back with a kind of exciting video. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, except I just haven't had time. I've been so busy with school and work and just life and keeping up with everything else on the channel, and just, things get busy. You guys get it. But I have been wanting to do this kind of extension of my TBR game, if you will, for quite a while, and it is definitely 100% inspired by Becca over at Becca and the Books from Becca's Booktubers. But for me, I'm just kind of gonna do my own little thing, and so I made myself a mini TBR Star Hop game, and I love it. I'll let you see it a little bit better here. But what I am going to do is I am going to play this mini TBR Star Hop and see if I can complete the entire board in 48 hours. So it's going to be my own personal 48-hour readathon, and I am going to move along the board, and obviously any time I land on a prompt, I have to read a book to fit it, and so I could be reading as few as I think 2 books. I think 3. I think 3 is the minimum amount of books that I will have to read in order to complete this, because I will only be rolling 1 dice, right? 1 is dice, 2 is die. Correct, Eric Paul?
Dice.
1 is dice. I will only be rolling 1 dice, so it will take me a little bit longer to get through this, but I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's going to be so much fun, and it's just me doing it by myself, so it's a little more chill, and I am planning on doing reading sprints throughout it, so I will kind of be interacting with you guys a little bit, and I think I'm probably going to be posting the spins to Instagram potentially, just to kind of involve people a little bit more. I don't know, I haven't quite decided yet, but that's what we're gonna do for the next 48 hours. We're gonna see if we can complete TBR Star Hop Mini. So I guess the rules are pretty simple. I have my board, we're gonna get through it. I have the prompts on my phone actually this time, because I felt like if in the future I want to take it with me on a trip or something, it'd be easier to just take the board than to take the board and all the prompts and that stuff. So I just made wheels on my phone, kind of like I do at the end of my regular TBR Star Hop game, but I have wheels for star prompts, moon prompts, sun prompts, and like wormhole. So yeah, ooh, this is really exciting. I've been waiting to do this for so long, so I hope it works out really well, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump into the first roll and see what my first book is. Oh, so one of the kind of fun things about this that I love about the regular TBR Star Hop is that you can potentially get almost an unlimited number of books. I mean, it will end up ending eventually, but I have 2 black holes on this board, so I will have to go back to the beginning for them. And also, I don't know what to pick, if that makes sense. So I can start off picking a bigger book, but then I might take up a whole day reading a bigger book when it's going to take me like 5 more books to finish. So it's kind of a little bit of a challenge to decide what books to pick along the way, because you just don't know how many more you're gonna have. But yeah, I'm really excited to jump into this, and let's go ahead and see what I'm gonna get for roll number 1. So I'll roll, pick a book, read it, and then move on to my next roll. So that's how we're doing it. Let's see what I get. Okay, here we go. Jumping into roll number 1. Oh my gosh, we get a 1? We get a 1? Okay, fine. 1. Let's see what prompt we get. Okay, we only win 1 spot for the first roll, which is fine. We can make this work, and we did get a star prompt, so hopefully it's a nice easy one and I can fit something short on there, because we're not starting off strong. We're not starting off in a way that's gonna finish pretty quickly. So let's go in here. I will screen record, and we have star prompt wheel. So let's spin the wheel and see what our first prompt is. Nice. Okay, so our first prompt is series, and with this I don't have to find it in 10 seconds. So I'm gonna go find some books, and I will probably try to fit books from my regular TBR Star Hop game onto this game if at all possible, but I might have to put other ones on there if they don't fit. So I'll see what I have and come back with some options for you guys. Okay, so I got a few options. I grabbed 3. So we have Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb, first book in her Rainwild Chronicles series, and it's a little bit shorter than a normal Robin Hobb book, so it wouldn't be too bad. I also have Mistborn Secret History, which is set in the Mistborn world, and you guys have confirmed that you feel like this counts as continuation of a series because it is set within the Mistborn world series. So that's an option as well. And then I have Forgotten Souls by Mackenzie Mon. This is the second book in her Soul of Terry's series. And so this one would count as well. This is a YA fantasy. And looking at the books, I mean, I only moved 1 spot. So I'm not feeling super confident that I'm gonna move it very quickly through this game, which obviously I could get there in 2 more rolls, but I'm a little nervous about that. So I think I'm actually going to go with Mistborn Secret History for this one. I'm gonna knock out a novella at the beginning. And so, yeah, I need a little bit of a confidence boost. So I'm starting this at 7 at night, and so it's gonna end the next, like 2 days later at 7 o'clock at night. I didn't want to start at midnight because I didn't want to like ruin the day after. But yeah, so that's how we're gonna go about this. And I am going to try to, well, I'm definitely planning on finishing this tonight and doing another roll tonight so I can at least pick another book, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to start my next book as well. So yeah, I'm gonna jump into this and wish me luck. Okay, so as you can tell, I haven't really moved much. I've grabbed myself a cozy blanket and sat down and busted out Mistborn Secret History by Brandon Sanderson. And I'm gonna say I have mixed feelings about this, but overall I enjoyed it a lot. Like, it was so much fun to learn about all the different things that came up in here. I feel like we get so much information, so many clues about the Cosmere. We're introduced to so many things, and I was actually really proud of myself for recognizing a couple characters that popped up in there, which, yeah. I was very proud of myself. More than a couple characters. Like, I felt like I was doing pretty well considering I've only ever read the original Mistborn trilogy more than once, and his Cosmere is huge with a lot of characters. So I did enjoy this quite a bit. I wasn't a huge fan of the way the plot went. I felt like it was fairly disjointed, which I did read the afterward part of this, the postscript that Brandon Sanderson wrote, and he even admits that the plot was a little bit disjointed because it did cover such a huge time period, and we kind of jumped a lot, and I feel like he was just running or across the world. I don't know, like he was running a lot, and like, it's like, okay, a month later, we're still running. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but also it was kind of weird. I don't know. I did love it though. I loved the information that we gained from this story, I think, more than the actual story. Just seeing things come together, learning new things. I loved that part about this, and I love that in books. So yeah, overall, I actually really enjoyed this book, and I'm so glad that I read it. I feel like it's such a great addition to the Cosmere, and it's just a small book that packs a lot of information in there that makes you so excited to keep reading more of Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and it took me a little longer to read than I thought. I got a little bit distracted here and there. I did grab some caffeine to keep me awake though. Got a little Mountain Dew here. But I'm actually really excited to jump into my second roll, see what book I get next. I'll probably start it a little bit tonight, but we're at about 11 o'clock now, and I still would like to take a shower before I go to bed, and I don't want to go to bed too late because I do have to work a little bit tomorrow, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to like give myself extra time at the end of this readathon to kind of make up for some of my work hours, or if I'm just gonna have to read extra fast and more in between my working. So I am gonna do roll number 2, and hopefully we get a little farther than 1 space, because we are not going to be able to get through the board if we go 1 space each time, let's be honest. Okay, here we go with roll number 2. Let me see, what would I get for a black? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would really prefer not to get a 5 or a 1. Honestly, I want to move a little bit further than 1, but not 5. 6. Ooh, that's so good. 6, which means another star. We're moving along. Okay, I'm very pleased with that, guys. That was probably the best case scenario. Well, it definitely was the best case scenario. Okay, let's go see what my prompt will be. Okay, so I am going to go and start a screen recording, and we have another star prompt, which I'm very happy about because I feel like the star prompts are easier to fill. I did make them along those lines where stars were easiest, moons were medium, and then suns were hardest. So lucky that we got a star again. Okay, here we go. Spin for my star prompt. Okay, we landed on a romance prompt. So I'm gonna go pick out some books that might work for this prompt, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have some options here. I actually grabbed 4, which is kind of a lot. I didn't think I had. I have a ton of romance books now that I'm noticing it, just most of them are fantasy romance. First one that I picked out was Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I think it is a contemporary story. I am not positive on that, but I don't think this is fantasy, but it just looks good. I've heard amazing things about it. I've seen some people read it and really enjoy it, so this one is a contender. Then I have Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I kind of feel a little bit in the mood for some historical romance, and I just think this one would be fun. It sounds like a good time. Then we also have A Ruin of Roses by K.F. Breen. This was my niece's pick for romance for my TBR Star Hop for November, and it sounds good. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Roses, you know, kind of leans that way, and it looks really good. It looks so interesting. It's a self-published book, which is awesome, and I'm really excited to jump into this one. And then I have The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, which is a contemporary romance, and this one I've heard amazing things about as well. I've heard really great things about this author in general, and that she just writes really good romances that you get invested in. So I have my 4 options that I have picked out, and I'm actually really excited about all of these. I'm kind of in a romance mood, so this is perfect. But I think I'm gonna be responsible and take out the 2 that aren't on my November TBR Star Hop, even though I really would love to read them. I would love to read these ones just as much, so I'm okay with that. I think I'm gonna go with The Kiss Quotient, partially because I think I'm going to be able to read it fairly quickly because it's a contemporary romance, and partially because I also have it on audio, so when I'm doing some things tomorrow morning, because I have a few chores that I need to get done, I will be able to listen to it on audio as well as reading it physically, because I was able to get it physically from my library and audio from my library. So yeah, we're gonna go with The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, and I am really excited about this. I don't read very much contemporary romance, so this is gonna be kind of interesting. And yeah, I think I'm gonna jump into that, and I might not update you again tonight before bed because I seriously have just been sitting in the same exact spot ever since this video started, and it feels a little pathetic at this point. So I might wait until tomorrow. I'm probably only gonna read a little bit before bed because I don't wanna stay up too late, and then I'll shower, go to bed, and then tomorrow morning I will let you know how far I got. I'm in like chapter 3 of this book, and the male character, who's very attractive, goes and leans against the door jamb, and it just made me think of Alan and how much he mocks the characters in romance books for leaning against things. If you've watched his videos, you know why it's so funny. Good morning. So, just woke up, slept in a bit, loved it, and I did read some of the Kiss Quotient last night. I'm on about page 50 and I love it. It is so cute. I am really enjoying the characters so far and I think they go well together. I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. I'm invested in it and it's a really easy read. I busted through 50 pages of this and I'm excited to get back to it today, but I think I'll probably fix myself up a little bit first because I'm a little bit of a mess this morning. But it just feels like a day to stay inside and read anyways because it's kind of storming where I am. We got rain right now. Ooh, it looks like it's turned into snow. We got snow already and we're supposed to kind of have a winter storm coming through. So I'm gonna snuggle up in my house and read books all day. Okay, a little bit more presentable now, and we're gonna get some morning coffee. And I have a couple of options that I'm choosing between. I have white chocolate peppermint bark, which sounds amazing, very festive. And then I have S'more Time, and these are both from Bones Coffee. I really enjoy their coffee. I like the flavors. I think it's really good. Which one do I feel like today? I think I'm feeling the S'more Time. This is just really good. I absolutely love it. I know it looks kind of Halloween-y, but it's delicious, and I'm feeling it. So that's what we're gonna have this morning, and then I'm gonna get back to some reading, get back into the Kiss Quotient, and hopefully finish it in not too terribly long so I can get another roll in. Okay, so since this just happened to arrive while I'm doing this 48-hour readathon, I'm going to open it during this vlog. And it was sitting outside in the wet and the cold and the snow, but I'm so excited. I'm pretty positive I know what it is. I've already cut it open because I don't cut things open on my vlogs that much because I struggle bus, but oh my gosh, it is. Guys, it's the Illumicrate Green Bones Saga. Whew, I am so excited. Here, I guess I can hold up the spoiler card if you want to look at it, but I really don't know if there's anything in there besides the books. I think it's just the books. Whew, here we go. Oh no! Oh, there's more than the books in here. Oh, we have some pins. Okay, so I'll show them to you so you can see what they look like. But we have the pillar, the horn, the weatherman. Oh, that is cool. That is really cool. I like those pins a lot. And then we have a Twice Lucky John Loon souvenir plate set. The Twice Lucky plates that go with that establishment. And we have this one as well. So that's pretty cool. They're just teeny tiny plates and I don't really drink tea, but oh, and we have some bookmarks, guys. So definitely got some awesome character art in there. Oh, sorry. And I would say who they were, but I don't want to totally spoil anything, so we won't, but we're to the books. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I gotta open them in order, of course. Can't go out of order, but oh my gosh, guys. These are so pretty. Woohoo! Look at how pretty they are. So this is Jade City, the first book. Have the spine and the back and the stenciled edges. Is there like art? Nope. Ooh, it's still so pretty. And of course it's signed by the author. I think they all will be, but that's the first one. Let's open the rest. Okay, here's book 2 in the set. There we go, focusing. Oh, it's so pretty. And then sprayed edges and the back. And then we have book 3. And the back. So yeah. Oh, and the sprayed. Sorry, didn't show you the sprayed edge on that one. But yes. Oh, this is chunky. I feel like, are the covers the same? No, the covers are a little bit different, but very, very similar. I think the only difference to them is what weapon is on the cover. But yeah, aren't they so pretty, guys. Yeah, these definitely are going onto my shelves. I am so excited about them. I like the pins. I like the bookmarks. I don't know how I feel about the plates. I'm never going to use them, but I don't know. People who drink tea, do you guys use teeny tiny plates? When I drink tea, I just drink it in like a mug like I do coffee. So. But yeah, a little bit extra bonus for the 48-hour readathon because it just happened to show up and I am so excited. They're gonna look so pretty on my shelves. Okay, book 2 I am finally done with, and I needed to get done with because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I took so long to read this book. It should not have taken me that long. I just kind of got distracted. But on the plus side, since it is snowing and nobody really wants to drive in a blizzard, I don't have to go to work anymore. So that's a good news because it'll give me a little bit more time to read, which I desperately need. I finished this book and I liked it. I think I liked the beginning and kind of the build up to this relationship, but then towards the end, it just kind of bugged me. I don't really like miscommunication in books and just misunderstanding between people, and if they just talk to each other, then it wouldn't be a problem. And I get that in this book, there are legitimate reasons why, but also I still don't enjoy it. Like, that's just not something I like in books ever. And so I am not really going to enjoy a relationship where that is one of the main points of it. So that was something that I just couldn't quite love, unfortunately, because I did really like their relationship. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed them together. I thought that they went well together and they complemented each other well. I thought the smut was well done. I thought that their interactions were well done. I didn't really love how his sisters were written, and it might be because part of the time I was listening to the audiobook, and it could have been the audiobook narrator. That's totally a possibility, but they seemed like they were written super young. Like, when I was reading this, I expected them to be very young, like high schoolers maybe, but all of them are adults, and they just didn't read that way to me. I had a good time reading it though, and I really did enjoy this book. It felt like an easy read. I could just get through it, enjoy it. It didn't feel like it was a chore to read. I didn't feel like I was forcing myself to keep reading it. So I did really like it a lot. I just had a little bit of issues with some of the things in there that kind of lessened my enjoyment. Overall, super fun. I've got another book down on my TBR Star Hop mini game, and now we can jump into roll number 3 and see if I get closer to the finish or if I hit the black hole and have to go back to the beginning. Okay, here we go with roll number 3. Hopefully, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything but a 4, and we are going to be happy. Well, after the game that we played for my November TBR, did we really expect anything else? Let's be honest. No, we did not. Okay, that was not good luck. Let's put it that way. Hit a wormhole, have to go back to the beginning because they're both black holes actually in this game. This could change. This is my trial run of this game. So if I find that having the 2 black holes that send me back to the beginning is too much and I can't get through it in 48 hours, which is a definite possibility, then that could change in the future. But as of now, that is the rule. And as of now, the rule is I will spin a spinner wheel that has all of the books that are on my TBR from TBR Star Hop from the beginning of the month and have to read one of those. I know usually when I land on black holes or wormholes, I draw from a little container that has all the series that I'm in the middle of, and then I have to continue reading one of those series. But I felt that it might be a little much to try to do that when I already have a huge TBR for my TBR Star Hop, and I didn't want to overwhelm myself with having to add, there's some huge series in there. I have Stormlight Archive and Wheel of Time. There's just so many big books in there that I could pull from that aren't on my TBR Star Hop for the actual game, and I felt like that'd be really overwhelming. Sorry, really long explanation for why I made up the rules for my made-up game. But I have a spinner wheel that has all of the books that were on my TBR Star Hop for December, and I will go ahead and spin that to see which book that I read. Okay, we are recording. We ready for this? Let's see which book I have to read. As you can see, a couple of the books I have already read for this game, which is nice. I'm knocking off some TBR Star Hop books. And let's see what the next one is. I'm a little nervous because there's some long ones on here. I mean, Fires of Vengeance, Tigana, The Shadow Rising, Dragon Keeper is pretty long too. Let's cross our fingers on this one, guys. Okay, here we go. I don't have Throne of Glass yet, unfortunately. It's still coming in the mail. It was supposed to be here yesterday, but then something got delayed, maybe the snowstorm that's outside. So I actually can't read Throne of Glass yet. It's supposed to get here sometime today, but I don't really have time to wait until 10 o'clock to start the next book for my game. So I'm gonna have to spin again. Sorry guys, I'm not meaning to cheat on this. I just don't actually have the book, and I don't wanna go out and buy another one when I already have one coming to me. So we're spinning again, not meaning to cheat. Sorry. I already read Mistborn Secret History for this game. This is being ridiculous. Okay. One more time. We got this. Volume is really low. Okay. Ha. Oh my gosh. No way. Tigana? Oh, that hurts. Okay. Before I officially add Tigana on to this, I am going to go check and see if Throne of Glass has arrived. If it has arrived, I will put that one on there because that one was technically the first one that was rolled. If it has not, then I will be doing Tigana and crying a little bit inside. Actually, Throne of Glass is probably pretty long too. Either one, whew, it's gonna be rough, guys. Ugh. Okay, well, I have a box. I am not sure if it's Throne of Glass or not. I'm thinking it is, but we shall see. I haven't ordered anything else because I'm kind of on a book buying ban till after Christmas, except for the books that I had to buy for my subscriber pick, of course, which Throne of Glass was one of them, so that I don't get books that someone has already bought me. Because apparently my family thinks that they're just going to look at my wish list and buy the books separate from my wish list, like not get them off my wish list. So Amazon isn't going to warn me if I try to buy a book that they already bought for me. Dun, dun, dun. Moment of truth. Will I be reading Throne of Glass or Tigana? Does anyone want to take any bets? And it is Throne of Glass, so we will be reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas for this prompt. Oh, it's damaged. Does that bug anyone else when their books show up damaged? It makes me so mad. Anyways, what does it look like under the dust jacket? Looks like her ACOTAR series under the dust jacket. Okay. Well, gonna just take that right off because I do not read hardbacks with the dust jacket on. And we're gonna jump into Throne of Glass. I have been warned by people who adore this series that the first book is not that great and that I need to keep going with the series even if I don't like the first book. So I feel like I'm going in with fairly low expectations for this book. So that might be a good thing, so that I'm not expecting it to blow my mind and I might be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, I think I'm also kind of hungry. I don't know what I want though. I want something. I want some type of a snack maybe. Something to drink. I don't know if you guys can hear the bells, but I live in between two buildings that do bells, chimes, whatever you call them. I don't know. So every hour we get it from both directions. It's wonderful. It's a good thing they don't do it at night. That would drive me nuts. But yeah, I guess we are jumping into Throne of Glass and we are starting over from the beginning, and we are going to pray that I can actually get through this game in the next about, 30 hours that I have left, because I took my sweet, sweet time with the kiss quotient. I'm regretting that now. Okay, so my building has a pool, and one of my favorite places to read is down here in the hot tub. Don't want to drop my phone in there, but I just like sitting in here and reading. It's so chill, so relaxing, and I feel like people don't really come down here all that often. There's more people during the day, but there's a lot of elderly people in my building, and so they don't come down too late. So it tends to just be my husband and I once it gets kind of later in the evening. And I brought my book. I am still reading Throne of Glass. I'm about 80 pages in or something like that. Someone else is coming by. Okay, now it's time to play the game of can I get back to the house through the snow and the cold without freezing to death. Do this every time we come down to the pool in the winter. So far we've been okay, but you know what? I'm not 100% confident on this because it's snowing outside. I'm still kind of wet. We made it. Okay, well, it's 2 in the morning, but I have finished Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I know I haven't updated you since the pool, and that was very brief because someone else came in, and I just feel so weird vlogging with other people around so they can hear me. But I did read some in the pool when I was sitting in the hot tub, which is one of my favorite places to read just because it's so nice and relaxing. And then I stayed up a little bit watching some Netflix with my husband, which is not a good thing to do when I have had to go back to the beginning of my TBR Star Hop game. But I did end up finishing it. It's 2 in the morning. I'm pretty tired. But in all honesty, I enjoyed this a lot more than I was expecting to. I completely recognized so much of the tropiness and the corniness and just the bad lines and the really kind of like the corny things that would happen, but I had a lot of fun with it. I was super invested in the story, and I just really enjoyed my time reading this. I don't know, maybe the timing was perfect, but I actually had a great time with this. I feel like Selena felt kind of similar to Spensa from the Skyward series, especially in the first book, when she's just kind of over the top and extra and just so I'm gonna kill you and I'm so boss and all this stuff. And so I just found her kind of endearing in that way. And I don't know if that's necessarily the way she's supposed to be or if we're supposed to feel like she's just this boss character and really take her seriously. I found her very entertaining, and so I found that really fun. That might have been part of the reason why I liked it. But yeah, I'm definitely continuing on with this series. I had a good time, and now we need to figure out what my next read is going to be. We got to do another roll, and hopefully it's a big number. I need that really, really bad in my life. Okay, so here we are back at the beginning, which is great. And always fun, right? When I have probably, 24 hours left of this read. Less. Oh my gosh, I have less than 24 hours. So I have 6. Okay, I do not want to get a 6. Anything but a 6. A 5. That is perfect. I love that. So we get a moon. Let us see what prompt it is. Okay, so we got our first moon prompt. let's go on here and see what we're gonna get. Okay, let's spin this wheel and hope that it is nice to me. I need something nice. I can't do anything. What do I have as options? Standalone, YA, husband pick, randomize, free pick, treat your shelf, graphic novel, and is that greater than 400 pages? Greater than 400 pages. Okay, let's see what we get. I really don't want greater than 400 pages, I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't really want husband pick either because he's asleep and I kind of would like to pick out a book now, but let's see what we get. Oh, yes. I needed this. I needed this so bad. I'm so happy, you guys. You have no idea. Okay, so I am not even actually going to bring a bunch of options. I already know what I'm going to pick because I need to be really nice to myself on this one. And I am going to be reading Allomancer Jack in the Pits of Alshania, which I believe is in our Cosmere Unbounded. Yes, it is, which is good. And let's see how long it is. I think it's pretty short. Yeah, it looks like it's like 27 pages, if I'm not mistaken. So that is what I'm going to be reading for this because I need something super short and I probably can actually finish it tonight. And then I can do another roll tonight. Ooh, I'm really excited for that. That's what I'm going to do. And so hopefully I'll be a little bit farther along on the board before I go to bed tonight and I'll have a little bit better of a chance of actually completing this. Fingers crossed. I could actually maybe do this. We'll see. Okay, that took me less than 15 minutes, I think, to read that whole thing. That was so fast. It was cute. It was entertaining. There's just like little tidbits that you pick up that are relevant to Mistborn Era 2. And honestly, overall, I feel like it was just kind of something fun to read if you love Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere and Mistborn in particular, particularly obviously Era 2, but it was just cute. I really liked it, but it wasn't anything mind-blowing, and I feel like I didn't really learn a whole ton extra. I am kind of interested about what he found in here and why he found it there, so I hope that maybe we get some information into that in the future. But yeah, another one down. Let's do one more roll before bed so at least I know and I have a plan for what I'm going to read, probably starting tomorrow because I probably should go to bed. We're coming up on 3 in the morning. Okay, so we don't want a 1 or a 6. Ooh, that's a third of the numbers that we don't want. But I think we should be okay. Let's try this out. 5. Oh my gosh! It's like it's making up to me for being so mean before. And it's a star prompt. Ooh, we've passed all the sun ones, which is great, because those ones are harder. Okay, let's go find out what I'm gonna read. We got another lucky roll, which is awesome, and we are going to have another star prompt, which I'm really happy that we didn't get any sun prompts because some of them are hard. I think one of those prompts is a book over 500 pages and I just don't want to do that right now. But a star prompt, we can do that. That one is doable. Okay, let us spin the wheel and see what prompt we get. Nice. I can totally do that. Okay, so we need a book with a beautiful cover. Let me go grab some options. Okay, so I grabbed 3 options for us to pick from, and first one that I have is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I just think this cover is really just whimsical and pretty, and I like the colors of it, and it just, I don't know, I like the feel of this cover. I think it's very pretty, very beautiful. So next we have A Ruin of Roses. So you can see that. And this one is an adult fantasy romance. And I just think the rose and the thorns coming through, all of it is just very pretty. And then the other choice that I have is The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman. I love like the gold and the black look to this one. I think it's beautiful. The only thing I don't like is this sticker thing here. Why can't it be removable? It's like permanent, but I think this is just a gorgeous cover. And if we're going just based on the prettiest cover, I think I'm actually gonna go with The Book of Magic. I think it's so pretty and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I hope it's not too long. Let's see what I'm getting myself into. It's 378 pages. What are the other ones? 317 pages. 373 pages. So I think I'm gonna end up going with The Book of Magic, actually, by Alice Hoffman. I'm kind of feeling this one, and this is what we're gonna be reading. Okay, here we go, next one, and I think, I'm gonna look at my game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, I can finish the game with this book and one more. So I could totally do this tomorrow if I bust this book out earlier in the day and I roll a 5 or a 6 and I only have one more book to read. I could totally do it. We'll see how this goes. I think, though, I might go to bed. I'm going to clean up a little bit and then I'm going to just head up to bed because it's 3 in the morning and I'm tired. I think I'm gonna actually do some sprints tomorrow, so that'll be fun. I invited my friend Joanna and we're just gonna do some fun, chill reading sprints. I didn't even post it anywhere, so I'm not really expecting anyone to join us in it, but it'll be for us. Just to kind of catch up, chat, and for me to get some reading done because I really need to. So I am going out to a Christmas party for my husband's work. Got all wearing a dress, even the heels. I don't know if you can see that. So I actually kind of got dressed up. Haven't done this in a while. And yeah, we're going to go out to a Christmas party. I'm going to probably read a little bit while my husband is setting up for stuff because he's kind of in charge of a lot of it. And then I'll come home and finish up. I did do some reading sprints with Joanna, and thank you everyone who joined. It was so much fun. I loved it. I needed that. And so since we didn't read very much, I asked people, and they think, including Joanna, agree that I should give myself until midnight tonight because I am losing so many hours with the party and with the sprints that I didn't actually read very much on. I think we might have read half an hour. So that's what it's going to be till, and I still need to finish Book of Magic and then at least one more book. So we'll see. I might need to start busting out some novellas and graphic novels to finish this, guys, but I have faith we can do it. And I will update you after the party. It's going to be a walk. I'm going to be walking in snow in heels, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so I have finished Rules of Magic, and I felt like I was actually fairly disappointed in this book. I didn't like it nearly as much as I liked Rules of Magic, and I didn't like it as much as the movie Practical Magic, but I've never read the book, so I guess I can't say anything to that. There were some tropes used in here that I just did not enjoy, and I also didn't like the way things were kind of done. It felt very insta-lovey kind of constantly, and I also felt like people were just really dumb. Like they just were so dumb. It was very odd. It was like they didn't really think about what they were doing. They just kind of did it. And I found that very frustrating for me. Also, there was an excessive amount of description about plants and stuff in here that I just found really, really boring. So I was not the hugest fan of it, but it was okay. I don't know. I didn't really love it. I wasn't really super invested, and I just got annoyed by a lot of the stuff that was happening in here. And I felt like the characters that I liked Vincent. I think he was probably my favorite character, but I did really love him in Rules of Magic, so it might have just kind of carried over a little bit. But yeah, overall, I felt like it was kind of a frustrating book for me to read. But I did finish it, and now we're going to jump and see if I can finish. I probably only have time to do one more, so we'll see. We'll see if I'll be able to finish, but I need to either roll a 5 or a 6 in order to get to the end, and hopefully I can do that. I mean, I have a, what, like 33% chance? It's not horrible, right? I can do it. Let's roll. Let's see what we get. And if I don't finish, I probably won't be able to finish before midnight, but we'll see. Okay, let's see if we can have this be our last roll. We'll hope for a 5 or a 6, see what we get. Whoo! Yeah! 5, we're in the last spot. Oh, I am so excited, you guys. So, I mean, possibly I can finish, but I have like an hour and a half, 2 hours left, maybe? Yeah. Whew, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so for the last spot, since we made it to the last spot, I'm so excited, guys. I mean, I pushed it kind of close, but I think we're still gonna pull it off. If not, if I go a little bit over, I'm not gonna be super sad about it. But I went on to Scribd to just kind of see if there was anything quick that I might be able to read, anything that I could maybe listen to, or something that would just be fast for me to get through. And I have a lot of not fast books, but I was looking, and most of the audiobooks, even the shorter ones, are a little bit long, and I only have an hour left, which I know doesn't seem like enough time, but I did have a manga on here called I Hear the Sunspot, so that was an option. Lumberjanes Volume 1, which is a graphic novel, is one I was looking at. A Thief Among the Trees, which is an Ember in the Ashes graphic novel, is something I have on here. And then When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain by Niveau is also an audiobook that is on Scribd that I was interested in maybe listening to. I actually think I probably am going to need to go with Lumberjanes Volume 1. I feel like this is probably going to be my best bet at finishing it because it says it's 131 pages, so it's the shortest, and it just seems like it'd be a quick graphic novel to read. So we'll see if I can read this in an hour or less, and I will get back to you guys in a little bit. Oh my gosh. I'm done. I was worried when I only had an hour left. I figured there was no way I'd be able to even finish a graphic novel because I'm kind of tired. But Lumberjanes Volume 1 was the shortest graphic novel I've ever read, and it went so fast. It took me like 20 minutes. So I did it. I mean, I kind of stretched the rules a little bit, and it wasn't exactly 48 hours for this readathon. I did give myself a little bit extra time because I started at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, 7 or 8 p.m. I can't remember. And I went until midnight on Friday. So I did give myself a little bit extra time. So technically, I guess it wasn't exactly a 48-hour readathon, but it was pretty close. And I'm just going to go ahead and count it because this was just for fun and for me anyways. But it was fun. It was really fun to be able to play this game, and I've been waiting to do it for a while. So I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm excited that I did it, and I feel like I'd be more excited if I wasn't so tired from a little bit of lack of sleep. And today I actually did a bit of stuff. So I am going to go take a shower, and I'm going to go to bed, and I can't wait. My bed is calling to me, and I just need to go to bed. I'm going to edit this tomorrow and hopefully post it on Sunday so you guys can all see it, and let me know what you think. Let me know if this was fun. Let me know if you guys would like to join in on one because I would love to do this again. And yeah, I just had so much fun with this, and it really kind of gave me a boost to get some reading done. I knocked some books off of my December TBR Star Hop, and yeah, so this was a great time. I hope you guys had a good time too. I would be more excited, except I am just ready to zonk. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think and if you guys would like to see me do this again or not. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.